This is Irontrader, and this is Midday Trading. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at some retail stocks today. Take a look at Costco and Walmart, TJ Maxx and Lowe's. Now, Home Depot had their numbers came today, and they weren't really nothing to write home about, and it kind of fell right off the map. Okay, this video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy selling stock by TTF. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, first on the old docket, we have Costco, your daily and your weekly chart. Now, you can see here, you can see how we're downtrending. See how we have a high, lower high, lower high, lower high, downtrending all the way and down versus what we had going on up here, a nice good uptrend. Now you can see here where the 100-day, the 50-day, the 21-day, and the 8-day, this is like a waterfall situation. So far today, we got down all the way down here to this 902.50. What we're watching is the bottom of this candle right here at that 903.29, so we made a lower low. Now, if this keeps right on rolling down, we're just going to take this bad boy right over here to the left here. Okay, then you're looking at 897.67. That's going to be your target. Okay, and we'll come over here to the bottom of this candle. You're looking at 894 level here. And then we come down here to the bottom of this candle, looking at 887. And then we come down all the way down there at that 881. Then we have your big retest down here at 871. Okay, now here on the upside, you got to get back above that price channel at that 908. And then we have that 8-day sitting at 916, the 21-day 924, then your 50-day 932, and then we have your 100-day at 947. Then we have a retest up here, top of that candle at that 953. But right here, we have this big retest here at 964. And you really have to reverse that, get above this 200-day to reverse this downtrending action, go higher at that 970. Now, we're looking at this RSI. This is not oversold here. This could go much, much lower here, the same way we have a sideways action going there. Now, here we have on the Costco here. Now, this is always one of my favorite trades here because it seems like you always want to buy this ahead of earnings. And then what I do is I always sell half it right into earnings and half it at the day after. But then it always seems like it wants a kind of a sell-off kind of a situation. Now, what we're looking here, this is what we're going to be looking at here. We're looking at this key 903.29, but we have this 100-day at that 889.14 level here right below that. It really has to hold. Now you can see how your 21-day crossed over and your 8-day and your 21-day crossed over your 50-day. That's not a good look here. Okay, so you're looking at 889.14. Then we can come down to the bottom of that candle right there at that 871 level. And then we have big targets. Just bring these price channels across here. You can go all the way down here to that 793 level situation, and we can come all the way to the bottom there, all the way down to that 697. Not saying that's where it's going to go, because we have your 200-day right here at that 697 also. But again, this is downtrending situation. You can see where we put this double top, 1,078, and then we retested it with 1,067 on a weekly. You see, we retested it, and it's been selling off ever since. And you can see how strong that 21-day is. It's going right into that 21-day and just getting hammered all the way on down. So we got to see how this retail here plays coming in, because it's really so far, Home Depot there, not good at all. So you got to be a little bit cautious here on the retail trades. So let's take a look here now at Walmart. All right, here we have Walmart. Okay, now you can see here how we're a nice uptrending situation. High, higher, high, higher, high, higher, high, and a nice series of higher lows kind of a situation. You're holding that 200-day, 97.83 nicely. Now you can see where the 21-day now is rolling over here. So is the 8-day. That 8-day already crossed over. So really, what we're really watching here now is going to be watching that 8-day on the upside, 102.73 level, and then that 21-day at 103.28, and that's going to be your 50-day. We get above that, then we just come and hit that top of that candle right there, that 104.72. We hit the top of that candle, 106.11, and then we hit this 107.77 level, and then we hit that 109.58. You crack that, you can hit to that 120 level. Now, here on the downside, we really need to hold this 100-day on a closing basis, 196 level. Then we come to the bottom of this candle right there at that 98.88 level, and then we have that 97.83. That 200-day is going to be very, very strong support. If we start losing that, then all we do is we come down here, 95.42 level. Okay, we have 94.43, and we just follow the candle, the price channels all the way down, 95.35, and all the way down here at that 91.89 level. But let's just see how this all shakes out, because this is good. Still a good uptrending chart. Let's see if it can crack above that and head right back up. Now, again, you can see here what we got going here. We got 44. That's not overbought or oversold. We got a sideways action here on your MACD. Now, on the weekly chart, you can see what just a beautiful run up here all the way down from the 30s. You can see how it consolidated, and then once she cracked up, she just cracked up really nice and high here. Okay, she was looking very, very good. Now, what we're looking for here is you got to get right back above that 103 area. okay, which is pretty much lines up right there. See, once we get above that 103, then I can say we can retest this level right there at that 105 level, and then we can just, we have that 106 level and then that 109 level. But that 8-day is going to be very, very key because now we're stuck between the two, the 8-day on the high side and that 21-day on the downside. We start losing that 100-day. We have that first of all, we have that 200-day at the 97.83. Then we're going to come down here. We have this 97 level. And that's going to be very, very strong because you can see how it came all the way down and it held at that time and it rallied up very, very nicely. Now, that's got to hold it. Now we go down to that, all the way down to that 94 level. But, we start cracking those levels here. You can come all the way down here to this 100-day. So right now, if you're trading Walmart here, just be a little bit cautious. Now, remember, the earnings are coming out on the 20th. So you got to be, a little bit cautious going into those earnings. All right, let's take a look here now at TJ Maxx. All right, here we have TJ Maxx. Now, this is actually a pretty cool store. They bought, where I am, they bought the Bed Bath & Beyond store out, the building out, and they put their TJ Maxx in there. But they also have that home store. They also have Marshall's, which is really, really nice stores, that home store. Boy, if you're looking for anything for your house, I mean, they got everything from soup to nuts in that place, So, and are very, very good prices. That's it. And, TJ Maxx, always look at it when you walk into there or you go to the home store or Marshall, whatever. It's always about the hunt. Sometimes you go there and they have nothing. Other times you go there and it's like, oh my gosh, they got all this and everything that you wanted, okay? So you can see here we have a really nice, good uptrending chart here. Now, you came all the way down here today. Let me pick that up for you so you can see that a little bit better. Okay, so you came right down here and held that 21 there today, and now she's rocketing right back above that 8-day. Okay, so you got to hold that 146.13. That's going to be very, very key. Okay, and then next level is going to be right up there. It's going to be that 146.46, and then we have your big retest up there at 148.11. You crack that, you're going to go to that 150, but probably more to that 160 level. That's what you're going to be doing. Okay, now here on the downside, we can watch here at the bottom of that candle, 144.76, then 143.89. And then we can watch that 50-day at 142.57 low. Now we start losing that area, then we come down here, 141 level, come down here, 141.36. And we come down here at that 139.76. Then we have that retest at 138.82 level. And then we have a nice retest down here at 138.23. Now, we lose that. Obviously, we're going to be heading right here. Okay. Great for that 100 SMA here. That would be your target. But right now, the stock looks really, really good. Nice, good uptrending situation. And we have a green candle today versus like some of these. This is the retail. I mean, look like Home Depot. It's just, going to show you lows here in a little bit. It's pretty ugly here. Where this is kind of rallying right back up and maybe hit that 148.11. Now you can see here on the weekly chart. Look at that nice big uptrending situation. All higher highs and higher lows. Bottom left, upper right. That's what you call for. She's a Butte Clark right up there. Now, you can see here last week we hit that high at that 148.11, and then so far we made a high at 147, so we're not quite there yet. But really on the downside, just watch that 143, we lose that, then we come over here to the top of that candle, that's 130, roughly 36 area, and then 136 on your 21-day. So that should provide very, very strong support. If not, we have that 129, which obviously you can see in the past here how nice it's held here, and that's the key on a closing basis by the week. Okay, so right now we have a good uptrending chart. This actually looks pretty good. Now remember, their earnings are also on the 20th. So actually this one here, I think if you're going to trade one, this one here looks like this could actually move higher because I think their earnings are going to be good. Every time I go to like the home store, TJ Maxx, they're just packed with people. Okay, let's take a look here now at Lowe's. All right, here we have Lowe's. Now you can see how this has fallen off in sympathy with Home Depot, and that's exactly what he had. He said on Home Depot, the people are not spending here. They call a consumer strain is what they add. They're not going to be remodeling. But then again, you also have to look at for how many years now have people been remodeling their homes? How many homes can you keep on remodeling? I mean, a lot of times you have new builds. I understand that, but just remodeling. I know where I am, a lot of people remodel, but they've been remodeling out here, all these homes here, like for 10, 15 years. I mean, how long can you keep right on going with all that? Plus, my favorite one, if you look at Home Depot and Lowe's, my favorite one is Menards, because they always have a really, really good price. And plus, they give you 11% off. And just a mail-in thing. You can use it back in the store. But what I like about Menards is right after the first of the year, they always have that 15% off right there at the counter, okay, which is really nice. So they call it fill the bag kind of situation. But man, like for me, I buy like batteries for ORVs and Harleys and all that kind of stuff, and you get 15% right at the counter, and it works out pretty nice. Okay, we had this really nice, good run up here on Lowe's, but you can see here, she just absolute waterfall. Came up here, retested this, but you can see this double top, and then she came right on down. Now look at she just gapped right on down. So right now we're looking here at that 218.80 level. If we start losing that, okay, we're going to come right down here to the bottom of this candle here, looking at 217, and then we have that 215, and we just bring this price channel across here. We're going to be coming right down at that 212 level. Now, your next line here is going to be right here. Let me see if I can get that. There you go. Okay, you're looking at that, 210 level, and then we have all the way down here, we have this 26. Okay, that we could actually go down and retest. Okay, so what you're really looking for is some kind of a situation. See how nice this came on down, rallied up here, and then we had a higher low. See that? And then look at that nice rally, broke through that resistance, and then she just rallied it up. But this is what you don't want to see. Anytime you get that price gets below that 8-day, that's going to say goodnight, Irene, because that's exactly where she's going to go. It's right on down. And now we rallied up, and now we're back down again. So on the upside here, we got this gap. Today's high was 223.72. There's your gap. And then look to yesterday's low, 224.96. Okay, and then we come up here to the bottom, looking at 226.97. But realistically, we're looking for that 8-day at that 230 mark. Okay, we can crack above that. Then you have the 200-day and the 21-day at 236. And then we have your 100-day at 242, and then we have this 245. Now, the odds of this here going into earnings here, this is going to be also earnings on the 20th here. I wouldn't take this trade in going into that, knowing what we've already seen from Home Depot. That's really not a good look. I think this can really come down and retest this 206 level very, very easy. And then if it holds it, then you could have a nice double bottom and play like we had here. Then we could get a rally up. To me, I would just hold off on this until after we see the numbers, Okay. So right here, we really want to hold this 200-day, okay, on a weekly chart, that 222 level. Now you got the 212, and then we come out to the bottom of that candle right here. You're looking at that 206 level. Now, again, we start losing that. Look how many targets that we have on the downside. You got that 181 level. And we come down here to that 170 level. Very easy. This is why I say right now this is not oversold. This is not oversold on a weekly basis. This is getting to be a little bit oversold here. Okay, but again, we can come all the way down to this level here. But let's just see how this is all going to play out here. But to me, if you're trading this here or you're holding this, I would wait, until after earnings. Let's see what the numbers are, and let's just see what kind of reaction Home Depot will have, the rest of the week, not just on that actual day. All right, that's all I got for you. I'll be back here after you open close. We'll take a look here at Bitcoin, Ethereum, gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas. And so far, we're not getting no turnaround Tuesday. Very, very unusual. Everything is tanking down. Nasdaq's down 204, and everything is tanking down here pretty good. The Dow, the S&P, and the Nasdaq, everything's all red. So what you need is maybe like NVIDIA. Now remember, NVIDIA's numbers are going to be coming out here on the 19th, which is tomorrow after the close. If they could have good numbers going forward, they're looking for a huge, they're looking for huge numbers on NVIDIA. And if it doesn't play out, it's not going to be good. Now they're talking about, I think, is a 7% move on NVIDIA. That's what the options are, 7% in either direction. So that thing could rip up 7% or down 7%. If it goes down 7%, you can take this market down even lower. All right, trade what's in front of you. Now what you want.